What's up, heroes, and welcome to the Producer Life Podcast, episode 98. We're going to be digging into Bandcamp's new partnership with Epic Games. You know, that little company that makes a game called Fortnite. But before we do that, I've got a couple of quick announcements. First, we are only 2 episodes from episode 100, and I've got an epic guest for you, and that's Alex Holmes, an English singer-songwriter who does pop and EDM music. She's worked with hundreds of different producers and labels worldwide, and she's ranked number 1 with 5 stars as a vocalist on the Vocalizer platform. She's also had releases on Universal Music, Sony Music, Spinning Records, and she's been featured on records with Sean Paul, Pitbull, Ashton Kutcher, and DJ The Prophet. I can't wait to share that episode with you, but make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Second, I've got a new bootleg remix coming out on April 1st, no joke, with Christina Aguilera and Ozuna's new track called Santo. The track was originally released in January this year by Sony Latin, and it's a reggaeton track in Spanish telling the story of 2 lovers who are dying to see each other and willing to commit every sin possible. The chorus says, "My saint, come and save me." The track came together really quickly after I spotted the official vocal stems on BPM Supreme. That's a record pool that I've mentioned before. They invited producers to download the tracks, create remixes, and then share them online with the tag #Santo. It was really interesting also to check out these official stems. There were about a dozen of them, and it was fascinating to see how each one was labeled, how the panning was chosen, different volume levels, little bits of atmospherics. This wasn't just a clean a cappella, this was all of the studio stems. So if you get the opportunity to download a pack like this, even if you're not interested in remixing it, I strongly encourage that you do it and then listen to each individual tracks and look at and sort of evaluate the way that these professional top-tier producers have gone about mixing the tracks. I think it's a terrific educational experience. While I stayed mostly true to the vocals in her track, I rebuilt the instrumentals from the ground up. I really ran with the religious themes, too. Mine is much darker, but I had so much fun making it that I even made a music video for this bootleg, and it's going to premiere on April 1st, which is less than 10 days. I'm also really excited about this from a marketing perspective because my biggest hit so far has been Vinpaca, which is a Latin dance track I did back in January 2020. And between my official artist channel and the YouTube auto-generated topic channel, I've had almost 8,000 streams. Because I've got a lot of listeners in Latin America, I'll be linking the new remix in the comments as well as on the end screens from both Vinpaca videos, and then hopefully introduce those listeners to my new track. And then vice versa, I'll also link Vinpaca from the Santo remix. So, whether you speak Spanish or not, head over to youtube.com/houseninjamusic, and I'll have a link for the premiere on the video there. Hit subscribe, smash the reminder button, and I'll look forward to seeing you for the premiere on April 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern. Before we jump into the Bandcamp and Epic Games issue, cue the intro music.
This is the Producer Life Podcast with your host, the House Ninja. Bringing you actionable ideas to improve your music and get it heard.
So, you've probably heard of Bandcamp.com. They've been a huge champion for indie artists. They're a terrific place to release music you own, make it available and downloadable in multiple different formats. They kind of became famous during the pandemic for doing Bandcamp Fridays, where they waived their portion of the commission for each track that they sold. They only took about 15% on average of a track, whereas someplace like Apple takes about 30%. Despite that, Bandcamp has been profitable since 2012, so they're clearly doing something right. So, not surprisingly, Bandcamp.com has been really a darling of independent artists. It's a great place to distribute your music directly to your fans, cutting out all of the other distributors, etc. The problem is, and the thing that's generated a lot of discussion online, is that the terms of this agreement weren't disclosed, and Epic isn't really commenting on what their plans are, aside from a few little short sound bites, which we'll talk about. Similarly, Bandcamp really hasn't said much about it either, other than that they're sort of ideologically aligned. So what do we know? Well, if you go to bandcamp.com and you look at their blog, they talk about joining Epic Games back in March, on March 2nd. And what they've said so far is that they're going to keep the artist first revenue model, about 82% on average that you get to keep. They've been doing this since 2008, and they've distributed over $1 billion to artists and labels. So again, they're doing a good job. They're a moderately sized business. And the reason they say that they're joining Epic Games is that, quote, there is a shared vision with Epic to build the most open, artist-friendly ecosystem in the world. Now, that sounds great, but it's really vague, so we don't really know what they're thinking. So if we head over to Epic Games, for those of you that don't know, they are a video game developer founded in 1992. They make the wildly popular Fortnite game. They also developed the Unreal gaming development engine, and they've also been responsible for the Gears of War and Infinity Blade franchises. Altogether, this is a huge company with over 1,000 employees, and they are valued at over $30 billion, so much, much larger than Bandcamp. And what Epic Games says is that, quote, Bandcamp will play an important role in Epic's vision to build out a creator marketplace ecosystem for content, technology, games, art, music, and more. So again, maybe a little bit more detail, but what does it really mean? Are we going to see more integration into their video games? Are we going to see options for independent artists to distribute their music directly within the Unreal gaming development community? Are we going to see more indie artists in Fortnite concerts? Nobody really knows. And so, not surprisingly, it's grabbed the attention of both folks on Twitter, but also within the press. The New York Times had an article talking about gaming giant behind Fortnite buys Bandcamp and indie music haven. Guardian, a British journal, says Bandcamp sells to Epic. Can a video game company save independent music? The article I thought was most insightful, and I'd encourage you guys to read it if you want to really dig deeper into this topic, was on Slate. The title of the article was, Did the Best Music Streaming Platform Just Sell Out? Epic Games and Bandcamp Make Strange Bedfellows. And it provides a really good background and sort of a meta-analysis, pulling from multiple different locations, talking about all of the different issues. So I'm not going to read you the whole article, but let me give you the sort of in summary of it, because I think this really encapsulates where we are right now. Quote, no one knows for certain what the future of Bandcamp will be under its new parent company. If you aren't sure if you should worry, you need only look at recent examples of large tech companies swallowing up smaller creative platforms. Twitter bought and shut down Vine. Verizon steadily gutted Huffington Post staff. And Facebook misrepresented and inflated its video streaming metrics, forcing publishers to make a financially disastrous pivot to video. So, what's the best case scenario for Epic and Bandcamp? Epic comes in with knowledge and ways to improve Bandcamp, including the ability to make more mobile purchases, the ability to create playlists, more options for users to create and share music, and a way to connect even more deeply with their audiences. Still, history shows us there's plenty of reason to expect the worst. So we don't know. So what should you do as an independent artist? Well, I would suggest a couple of things. First of all, don't panic. If you're on Bandcamp, keep using it. If you're not on Bandcamp, it's still an easy platform to learn. It's quick to set up. I would suggest you jump onto Bandcamp because this could be a very good turn of events and it could drive a lot of growth in Bandcamp. I've been on there for a while. I am going to continue to use Bandcamp for the foreseeable future. Second, stay informed about the changing digital landscape. Platforms are coming and going. Terms of service change. Listen to podcasts like this one. Talk to industry insiders. You've got to stay involved and informed so that you can make decisions about where to best spend your time and money. Third, don't become overly reliant on any one platform. They come and go. Algorithms get tweaked. Many of you remember when Facebook changed their algorithm and business pages' organic reach plummeted. And who out there remembers MySpace? Anybody remember MySpace? It was huge for a long time, and then it just practically collapsed. So you can't become overly reliant on any one platform. Which brings me to my last point. Make sure you've got your own website and that there is a huge push for building your own email list, something that you own, something that you control, something that nobody can take away from you, so that if your favorite platform, whether that's Bandcamp or Facebook or MySpace or Instagram, if you get blocked or hacked or whatever, you've still got some place where you can hang your hat, some place where you can reach out to your fans. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a rating and review. I'll have lots of links in the show notes page at producerlifepodcast.com. Look for episode 98. And don't forget to come over to YouTube, youtube.com/House Ninja Music. Sign up for my Santo premiere on April 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern. Would love to see you guys there in the chat box. And until next time, don't forget to be somebody's hero.